All right. I am here. Little late. I had an issue getting things started this morning, so I thought delaying the stream till 11:30, a little 30 minutes was gonna give me some time, and almost wasn't enough time today. So, yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good this morning. I had a rough start to the morning, but I've got my coffee, so we should be good. But yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today on this week's episode of the Caffeinated Collector. Obviously, I'm wearing my PlayStation thing. I had a little no logo to go on right here, but it I don't know where it went. It fell off, and I don't know what happened to it. So I was kind of prepping a little no PlayStation logo here, and yeah, it wasn't working. So what's up, man? How's it going? Hey, what's up, Solid? What's up, JT? Yeah, I had a little delayed start. Normally I do 11 to 11:30, and I've been running around looking for the little thing I put on my shirt, and I don't know what I did with it. It's probably stuck to something else. But I thought it'd be kind of funny today because of the theme is going to be, you know, the PlayStation Blackout that, isn't going to do anything, but we'll get into that after. We do have a little bit of anime stuff we're going to talk about today, a little bit of manga stuff. We're going to go, if time allows, we're going to go over the American Manga Awards, who won. I didn't even know that was really a thing. We're going to talk a little bit about GTA. We're going to talk, if I have time, we're going to talk about the Duskbloods, a little bit of Double Fine stuff. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Not as much negative stuff this week, so that's good. Normally we have a lot of just bad gaming news and a lot of bad just news, and this week it seems pretty good. Um, if no big boob waifu, then you'll disappear. When we get into the figures, we've got waifu, JT. We've got waifu. This week was pretty waifu heavy, I'd like to think. So stick around, stick around. You might see something you like. um, but but yeah, again, as people are rolling in and I'm getting situated here, I'm kind of scrambling right now to finish getting things set up because again, this is only my second stream from vacation, and last week's stream was a little rough too. Yeah, dude, same here, same here. I've had everything now on PlayStation. I still those are still my only consoles I consistently have and have kept. So yeah, this has been it's been a long time coming, but we'll get more into the woods on that topic after. But we got normally I like to go through the figures before we get too deep into the topics, but we definitely are going to discuss some of the nonsense going on with PlayStation and kind of my thoughts on why things are happening the way they are. And honestly, I have a very different take than a lot of other people. I've been arguing. I think last night I had 13 or 14 different arguments going on online at once. So yeah, it was interesting to say the least. So yeah, I was just kind of fighting with everybody online because people didn't agree with my hot take on things, and I will definitely go into that as we get into the articles and stuff today. Yeah, dude, you seem to be in my head like all the time. It's pretty wild. Are my audio levels okay today? I know I was having some issues with the mic again. I've been trying to troubleshoot all that again on the fly, kind of as things have been going here today. But I wanted to make sure I got things started. I've even got because I didn't eat yet. I got a protein shake. So, all right, cool. Oh, cool, cool, cool. All right, I am just making sure that we are good because, again, I don't want us kind of having any more kerfuffles. But we look good. We look good. We look good. All right, cool. All right. So, if you guys didn't know, sounds good, bro. That was a delayed reaction, but I know, bro. You're at work. I know. Shout out for you always being here in the chat, man. I appreciate it. Um, if you guys didn't know, I know what I think JT knows because he commented on one of the videos. I did actually get off my ass and upload two videos. So I uploaded a video on Friday and I uploaded another video on Sunday, which I don't typically do. And I want to try to get into a habit of possibly putting out a video on Sundays now because I don't do anything else. I don't stream, I don't post shorts on Sundays. So I did post part one and part two of my $1,000 anime haul. And yes, it is not just a clever clickbait title. I will reveal the total purchase price once I upload video three, which is going to go live tomorrow. So lots of really, really cool figures in these last two videos. And video number three has got some big stuff in it. So if you guys have been checking those videos out, uh, make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow because we're going to be dropping the third and final part of that haul video. And I think I like doing these a lot better and splitting them up into three because it's a shorter video for you guys to kind of slog through. $600. Damn, Netflix went up that much? Damn, bro. And I hate Netflix, but I'll cheers to that, man. I definitely didn't put enough flavor in that coffee. Tastes weird. Or the flavor combination doesn't taste good. Ah, don't you hate when you do that? When you're experimenting with your coffee and you're mixing flavors? Yeah. The mushroom coffee with the buttered coffee just ain't doing it for me in my regular coffee. So I'm double dosing coffee. Yeah, it's not working for me. Damn, man, your stock's doing good. I do not do stocks, so but I do nerdy stuff, and it's kind of what we're here for, right? So this last week I did do a lot of I want to say pretty good figures. We got. Oh yeah, see, this isn't protein coffee. This is just regular coffee, but I brewed it with mushroom coffee because I don't like the mushroom coffee on its own. But it does really good for like your gut health and stuff like that. So I just put the mushroom coffee in my regular coffee, and sometimes it's all right. And I hate mushrooms, but mushroom coffee with it's like a dark cocoa mushroom coffee. Yeah, it sounds absolutely disgusting, but it's like healthy and good for you, and I don't know, man. It's one of those things, I notice when I use it, it definitely does improve like my hunger and my, like just like my gut feeling in general. I don't know, man. I'm freaking old, but I'm doing whatever little things I can to keep together. All right. But it also adds it adds like a dark chocolate. Um, so it's like dark cocoa. So it adds like a little dark chocolate flavor to the coffee normally, but I either might have put too much in and it's overpowering, but yeah. Raccoon shit. I thought it was more like more like mouse turd, I don't know. A little bit of in your cup. It's the flavor and accentuation, you know. I gotta chase it down with some of this because that's a little rough today. I was gonna brew it into my protein shake, but I realized I had no room in my shaker. Mm-hmm. That's better. That's better flavor. Peanut butter protein with chocolate Fairlife. Can't go wrong. All right. Pumpkin oil. That's actually really good. I've had that. But okay. All right, let's get serious now. Let's get to the big part today, right? Let's get to the waifu boobs because I know people are waiting for that, right? We know people are waiting. I do look at this right away, man. You guys are definitely in these streams too much, man. You're like second and third brains and fourth brains for me, man. It's like a hive mind. Yeah, let's get into some figures so we can get into all the topics because I know we're going to be talking about these guys quite a bit today. And JT needs to get his gooning out of the way before conversation gets too heavy. I got you. So, um, just in case you guys didn't know, this week's theme, though, by the way, is called Got Nudes Week. And no, it is not naked figures. That's just a clever play on words. It's going to be all noodle stoppers all week. So, just a little heads up for you guys. That is the theme of this week. But last week, we definitely had some good stuff. We had some good waifus. And we started out the week with an always popular waifu. You guys know it. She is not a big booby waifu, though, but she's a waifu nonetheless. Started out with Miku Monday in the kind of summertime traveling sense of things. I went with the adorable cabin attendant Miku, aka the flight attendant Miku. And this is still one of my, I don't want to say one of my older ones, but she's one of the ones I actually remember getting the most vividly because it was the most random thing that I bought at the convention. I was just like, why did I get a Miku dress like this? But she's adorable, and I wish they would have made all the Vocaloids like this. And I know she's not wearing anything revealing or skimpy, but it is the classic kind of OG stewardess kind of look. I love it. And every time I check this figure out, or every time I highlight this figure, I have to watch the movie Catch Me If You Can. Uh, Totally random, but it's a Leo DiCaprio movie with Tom Hanks, and there it's like a fraud movie, and it's really really good. He disguises himself as a flight attendant and a pilot and stuff like that throughout the movie. And every time I do this figure, for some reason that movie clicks into my brain, and all of a sudden my feed is filled with clips from that movie. But but this Miku is one I don't know, man. There's something about it. I know the it's not as like eye grabbing or eye catching as her standard costume or the more vivid and wild costumes, but there's something about this stewardess fit on her that just looks really really good. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it could just be because it's just a classy look, kind of a classic look. I don't know, something about it. But the sculpt itself is phenomenal. I love how she's kind of pointing out at you, like she's directing you to your seats. The face is really, really cute. And yes, I did try to shorten and spruce up my clip and reel game a little bit this last week. So you guys are gonna notice they're shorter clips, shorter reels, shorter videos, but I'm trying to kind of make them a little more eye catchy for the scrollers that kind of scroll by everything. Um, but yeah, all in all, she's a really really cute figure. Like I said, I don't know if it's the classic look to her or what. Like even her tights, they're not stockings really jacked up. The dress isn't jacked up really high. It's not an overly sexualized piece. I know that. But there's something about it that it just all comes together and works really, really well. And I think it just all ties together in that face. I think the face is freaking adorable. And I don't know. There's just something about the classic look. I don't know. It's like that one, and there's another Miku. I'm trying to see if I have it right here in eye shot. I've highlighted her before, but she's like the kind of the old school. Oh, it's upstairs. It's my other room. It's the like the 50 style Miku. Those two, they look so good together, and I don't know if it's just the classic costume, but it just it pops and it all just works. It comes together nice, the colors, everything. I definitely recommend. She is on the cheaper side, guys. I think you can still pick her up for like 20 bucks. She just looks classy. Yes, that's kind of like what I'm getting at. This and the like 50s style Miku, the retro, I think it's called the retro Miku. They actually look really, really good together. And that's how my display is right now. That it's the two of them paired with each other. And yeah, I agree that that's a good wording for there. She looks classy. It's I don't know, and it's just a really really cool Miku. I not one I see people show off very often. It's probably because she's not flashy, right? But I like the more kind of subtle looks too. Again, I am a fan, I say it all the time. I am a fan of having the variety in a collection. I don't want every single piece to look the same. I don't want every piece in the same costume. I want all that variety. And this definitely fits that bill with more of a classic kind of vibe to it. So if you can get one, I highly recommend it. Spice up your kind of Miku collection and add a little class. So, moving on from that, we went from classy to possibly my least favorite ReZero figure for Twin Tuesday. And that is this one here, the Konoichi Rem, aka Ninja Rem. Now, I have a huge love hate with this and the ROM that goes with it. And the biggest problem, as you can see right here, it's zoomed out, is the base. The way that Nike swoosh base, I know it's probably supposed to be like a katana slash. It is god awful. It is unbalanced and it just doesn't work. As you can see, I tried to not angle this one where it was zoomed out too much because you could see the massive lean to it. Do I have her right here? I don't. Okay, I thought she was sitting right here next to me, but she is not. I was going to show you the example like from the actual figure, but the lean on that thing, because the base is not completely flat because of the swerve, the curve, the base is kind of like off centered. So it kind of goes like this, where it shifts. And when you put her feet into the feet pegs, it causes the base to shift more. And that little skinny base isn't enough to hold her weight. So it is a struggle to keep her upright. The figure itself, I think, is great. I would have liked a little bit more of a dynamic pose, but she is sitting there kind of like in like almost like a Kill Bill, ready to fight, position. Um, Not bad. But that base down there kills this entire piece. And I know they did a rerun. New issue of ReZero. Rem appears in every one of the episodes, just no one knows who she is still. But I don't know. I know they re-released these figures because it was Rem and Rom, and I think they both had ninja stars in their hands. I don't quite recall what they did with them. I know they altered them. Um, I want to see if I can look it up real quick while I'm looking. So these are part of the SPM line. Yes. So the newer versions they have. I'm trying to see. So these OG versions were little daggers on ROM and the sword on REM. And the newer variations had REM with ninja stars and ROM with like three prong kind of claws. I'm looking to see if they improved the bases, but I don't see any photos of them anywhere with the bases in view. It's like they try to not show you the bases because they are god awful. Even in the actual Sega prize ones, you do not see it. Oh, that's right. Ram did have a sword. That's right in the original version. I just saw her over there on my shelf. But I was trying to see if they improved the bases in the re-releases, and I can't find it. So if anybody in the chat, anybody watching the VODs after, whatever may be, if you have the newer version of these where Rem has the ninja stars in her hand, let me know if they did change this base and improve this base because it is god awful. This and the Arabian Nights Rem and Rom have some of the worst bases I've seen that literally ruin the figures. And sometimes it does that. Sometimes a base can ruin a figure. And I know their prize figures were all used to the plain black bases, those god awful things. But I give credit that they tried something different with this, but it is not it. It is horrible. It is awful. And for that reason, I cannot recommend these figures. They look great. If you can get a custom base, do a custom base. I know some people do it, but other than that, I cannot recommend it just because, again, the bases are god awful. Oh, excuse me. Hopefully I muted in time. Woo! Bless me. Um, excuse me. Ooh, my eyes watered a little bit there. I was trying to fight that one back. That's so dumb. It's so tiny. I hope you're talking about the base and not something else, buddy. But yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, the figure itself looks great, but the the actual execution on it, we'll say, is lacking. I'm just gonna drop a poll in the YouTube chat over here. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to drop a poll in the chat because we are going to be talking about the PlayStation nonsense today. So I want to make sure we have a little feel for what everyone's got going on. All right, now that's good. All right, we are going to go on from a ninja waifu to a waifu. So for our waifu Wednesday segment, we went. I know people are going to like this. We went with our masochistic mommy, our just disturbed paladin. Of course, you know her as Miss Darkness from Konosuba. Now, this one is one of the Sega prize figures from Konosuba 2, so season 2. And I gotta say, at first glance, when you look at the front of this piece, and yes, when we do zoom in, you're gonna notice Midas have black scuffs on the booba. I hate when they do that. But when you look at it from the front, she looks good, right? But when you, as we just saw, look at it from the back, Sega did a damn good job with, let's just politely say, with her curves, right? So every aspect of darkness is completely nailed in this super cheap prize figure, right? I think when this launched, it was like $20. So not a very expensive piece at all. And as you can see there, they even gave her a booty line down the back of her outfit to accentuate all that cake that's covered up. So as we all know, Darkness is pretty she's pretty masochistic and she's constantly taking off that armor, right? If you know anything about Konosuba, she is a massive comic relief character, as are, well, pretty much all the characters in the show are comic relief. But she is our um she is our kind of perverse comic relief in the series. And they absolutely nailed the character with this figure. Not only because she got the hand kind of covering down on the naughty bits down below, she got the one hand kind of up on the other bits ready to go, but they gave her kind of the almost, I don't want to say flustered face, but they gave her a more innocent look to her face. Now, I would have preferred a more kind of twisted, like, abuse me master kind of look to her face that she gets in the series, but this does do it. Now, I think the face on her pop-up parade actually does work a little bit better, but again, you're going to spend more money on a pop-up parade than what this figure originally cost at its $20 retail point. So it kind of depended on what you wanted to spend back then. Her pop-up parade, her chest plate is removed already, so it's just the tight black undershirt that is she's rocking out in her pop parade version. So she has like her arms crossed and the boob are overflowing over the arms. So I think we can see the fit. If we go right to the front of this video in a minute, you'll see her bouncing up and down her animation right here. That's the fit she's wearing in the pop-up parade, where her white upper body armor is already removed, her shoulder pauldrons are already removed, and she's just kind of in a pose like she's losing her armor. So it's a cool piece, and like I said, this one I appreciate that Sega went and they caked her up as well as they did. So definitely a good waifu. So for those of you guys who are looking for the big booby waifus, here you go. Darkness is here. And again, she's also got that booty, so it goes to all types of the fan service. Yeah, for this one. So I highly recommend it. I know they made an Aqua and they made a Megumin, and they also made a Union, I think, in this set. So yeah, if you're looking for damn that cake. Yeah, so if you're looking for some cheap, affordable Konosuba figures, I would say don't sleep on this one. But I think you can get her still relatively cheap. I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna see what the average price is for her. Um, she's going for about 25 or so, $30. So it's still not too bad. Because I know they've made a newer version of her as well. So yeah, she's averaging around, oh my lord. Okay, wow. Some people are selling her. Never mind. That was for a bootleg version. People are actually selling this one for over $100 now. Okay. Damn. Well, if you can get one, you can get one for a decent price. I definitely recommend it. I didn't know she was going that high. Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day. Holy crap. So, you might need to go with a pop-up parade if you're looking for something with darkness. And they also made a new Sega Luminasa, which is the Konosuba 3 version of darkness. So, there are options if you are looking for one. Now, we did not bring out a Rimuru or a slime figure for that time we got reincarnated Thursday, because I had a crisis where I dropped the figure that I was going to highlight, and everything went in slow motion as I dropped the Rimuru. And I caught him, but I thought I broke him. And it turns out just one of the pieces of him came off and went underneath a shelf. So I spent 3 hours ripping apart the area to find the piece. But Rimuru is in one piece. He's intact and he's good. And he'll be back next week. So I did do a non-waifu for Figure Friday. Because we needed some male energy, right, out of the waifu harem. And I went back to one I love and I sing the praises of all the time. And I know I showed it probably like in January. But I went back to the GameStop exclusive Modern Icons, Forgotten Realms, Drist Do'Urden. And I know I could talk about this character for an entire stream. And maybe one day I will do a stream about Forgotten Realms and this character. But this character has a big, huge impact on me. I've been reading the books with this character for 30 years now, if not more. So, he is a character in the Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms universe, obviously. He is one of the four companions of the Hall, the heroes of the Hall. And, well, actually, you could call five because, one of them I don't ever usually count, but um, this character these novels are my Lord of the Rings, right? I love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit, but the series I go back to reading over and over and over again are the, I want to say at least the first six books in the Drist series by, of course, Bob Salvatore, R.A. Salvatore, who, you guys have seen my channel. I've met him several times. We've done Q&As with him, things like that. And he has created this character that has lasted decades. And this figure, I know people give me grief about it because he has a bluish toned skin. He's a dark elf. He's supposed to be darker. I understand that. He's not supposed to have his blades don't look like that. They're not. I know. But according to all the cover artwork on all the new books, everything else, that's what his blades look like now. Deal with it. We all have to deal with it. We all have to live with it. But this Modern Icon series is, again, something that I think is a missed opportunity from GameStop. They had these awesome figures. The only problem is they never advertised these figures. These figures were always thrown in the very back of the store or in their back rooms and never bothered with. There were, I want to say, 14 that were released from all different franchises. We had these here. The D&D ones came after they stopped being numbered. So I believe these would probably be 15 and 16 if you counted Drist and Katie Bree. And then the gelatinous cube, I think, would be 17. So there were a lot of figures from a lot of different lines in this series. We had Borderlands ones, we had Doom ones, we had Fallout ones, we had Skyrim ones, obviously the D&D ones. There were a couple that I didn't get. There were some that I did miss out on, but these things, if you are looking for them now out in the wild, and I don't know if it's because of the kind of low knowledge that people had about these pieces originally, but they are expensive now. All the Modern Icons figures are because I believe the company that made them is now gone. And again, these were a GameStop exclusive line. There were supposed to be multiple characters in this series, but we only ended up getting two, which kind of sucked. And they're both absolutely gorgeous. We had Drist, and of course we had Katie Bree. and we were supposed to get Regis, we were supposed to get Wolfgar, we were supposed to get Brunar, we were supposed to get Guinevere, and I think it was teased we were going to get Jarlaxle as well, and possibly Artemis. But it was a whole big thing. We were supposed to get a whole lot of these figures, and uh, because it's GameStop being GameStop, and they didn't utilize what they had, and I think that's a big problem with a lot of things GameStop does, and a lot of companies do. They don't utilize and they don't advertise the way they should. I show these on my channel a lot. I show the Drist, I show the Katie Brie, I show the Gelatinous Cube. People always ask me where they come from. I show the Fallout ones, the Nuka-Cola girls, stuff like that. People always ask me where they're from. The only one that I have an issue with in the Modern Icons line is the Mad Moxie, which I don't usually show on the channel because she's got kind of a wonky face. But if you are looking for these guys, like I said, they are going to cost you a little bit because I don't I don't know if a lot of them really ever even made it out into the wild. I have a feeling a lot of these modern icons figures are somewhere in a GameStop warehouse somewhere. But if you can get your hands on them, I can't recommend these enough. All the lines, I mean, every single one of them, because they are absolutely gorgeous. They started out as a Think Geek brand thing. So we had, Think Geek, which GameStop bought and then destroyed. It was their line, and then GameStop took it over and put it through the ground. So we had I'm just going through the list. We had Kratos and Atreus, we had the Bloodborne Hunter, we had Moxie, Tiny Tina, Doomslayer, the three D&D ones, which I went over with you guys, the Vault Girl, the Nuka-Cola Girl, we had Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, we had Jin from uh, Ghost of Tsushima, we had Power Armor, we had another Power Armor, we had the what should call it, the Dragonborn from Skyrim. So there was definitely a good variety of figures, but unfortunately, as with a lot of stuff GameStop does, they didn't really know how to manage it, and they didn't know how to advertise them, and they kind of just fell through the cracks and ended up on clearance racks. Like I myself have two of these Drists and two of the Katie Breeze still in their boxes sealed. I bought extras when I saw them on clearance because I knew these were collectibles that I really loved. So I think he came out fantastic. I think the leather work, the armor, all of it looks fantastic. My only issue with him, other than yes, I know the purplish blue tone to him, and I depict that to a lighting thing because I look at it as you see underneath him, he's in a snowy plain. I look at it as its reflection from the sun, and that's how I depict it. But my only gripe about him is he does have a slight lean, and I think it's because his base is not flat. He is on a rounded base, so he is on the kind of, so there's like a hump, and he's kind of on the latter portion of it. So it does cause him to lean back a little bit, and it can be a little off-putting. You think maybe there's something wrong with him, but that is the way his sculpt is. Every other one that I've seen has had that same type of lean. It's not any kind of defect. I think it's just because of the way the base is kind of hunched and his feet are kind of on it. So I think it causes him to lean a little bit. But other than that, like I said, I think he is an absolutely gorgeous piece. And if you are, a Forgotten Realms fans, if you are a Drist fan, I think this is one that you should definitely be looking for. But again, pay you're gonna pay a little bit for them. So be ready. I think on Amazon it's the cheapest at $114. I think on eBay, I think you're looking closer to 150 or so. I know like the Doomslayer is one of the most expensive ones. I know God of War Atreus is one of the cheapest ones. But you're looking around 120, $150 for this piece in particular. I think the most expensive one is the Doomslayer, which is one I don't even have because when I got him, he arrived broken. So very, very cool piece. And we're gonna go back over to some waifus to finish off the week. For Schoolgirl Saturday, we brought back one of my guilty pleasure series, the quintessential quintuplets. I am a sucker for cheesy rom-com anime, and we're gonna talk a little bit about one of those a little bit later on today because it's one I'm getting very, very invested in, and I'm really liking it. But this is majority fan favorite girl with Miku Nakano. Now, she is our shy, reserved, kind of nerdy quintuplet, which is why I think she resonates with all of the fandom. She is. She was front runner as my best girl as the series started, but slowly dropped down my list to either two or three, depending on what day of the week it is. My bias is actually Ichika. I know she is one who is a very heavily hated one. I am partial to Ichika. And of course, I do love me some Nino as well. She is the only one throughout the series who actually has some kind of a physical change, right? Where she chops her hair off. But this is part of the Good Smile Company Pop Parade series, and this is the worst quality I've seen Papa Parades. And let me get to that. I need to sip though. Now, the quintuplets line was so panned and hated by the fans and the collectors that Good Smile actually re-released all five of the quintuplets. And what they did was they brightened their colors, they changed the faces. Because if you see on these, the faces are very, very hard to see. They're very mild. And a lot of people complained about them. And Good Smile didn't really do much about it other than going, okay, well, we'll just reprint them. And they reprinted them, and the newer ones look a lot better. But I'm not someone who can double dip. I'm not going to double dip on the same figure because they improved it. My opinion is if you made a shitty quality piece, you should make it right for your customer. And Good Smile didn't do that. And that's where I almost lost faith with Good Smile because of this, because that was kind of a dick move on their part. Kotobukiya has done it in the past too, where Kotobukiya has made some very big design flaws and just said, well, we're just going to remake the statue. And those of you who bought it first, touch, they did that with their Carnage Artifacts Plus figure, which was a big, big, big problem. And I have the original one still. They also did that with their Freddy and Jason figures. So it is not an uncommon thing in the figure manufacturing, right? We see it all the time in the reprints, the recolors, all that stuff, and they do a lot of quality of life improvements. So this was one of those cases where fan backlash actually caused them to fast track another version. So we have our version 1 and our version 1.5s of the quintuplets. So I would recommend if you're going to go for the quintuplets, go for the version 2 or the 1.5 versions because their quality is a lot better. But if you want a Nino with long hair, you got to go with the version 1. Version 1 of Nino has long hair, version 2 has the short hair. If I'm the man, you're going to marry all of them. Um, I gotta say it, since we're at quintuplets, he made the worst choice at the end. If you know, you know. If you know quintuplets, he went with my least favorite quintuplet. I mean, it's hard because every quintuplet has a good aspect of a wife material girl. Like it's like every aspect of wife material girl in a different body. Which, as you say, marrying them all would be the best choice. but every one of the quints strength is like an ideal perfect. No, I didn't choose an Ichika. I'm an Ichika stan all day, all day. I'm an Ichika stan, and she's like everyone's hated character. I'm an Ichika stan all day, all day. Ichika. I don't know what it was. Ichika, she grew on me so much towards the series. Nino was my bias at first. Nino and Miku were my bias. And they quickly both just dropped for Ichika. Sorry, I had a error pop up and I had to just make sure we were good. Think we're good. Okay. I think we're good. All right, all right. Each guy has the biggest boobs. All right. I had a chat error, and I'm glad it's not erroring because I can see the chat. Okay, that's why I had to make sure. I was getting a stream chat error, and I think we're good. So give me just one moment while I take a look at this. All right. Yes, we are fine. All right. Cool. 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 All right. So those were all the figures from this week. So we'll do a quick recap. We started out the week with our very conservatively dressed, very classy flight attendant Hatsune Miku, which I freaking adore. We went with our Ninja Rem with the absolutely horrendous base for Twin Tuesday. Rem is still best girl. Can't deny that. For Waifu Wednesday, we went with our big booba masochistic paladin, of course, our girl Darkness, and apparently she's caked up too. So, all right, man. Yeah, get some sleep, man. Good seeing you. I was distracted by the booty. Figure Friday, we went with our boy Drist from the Forgotten Realms, and I bit my tongue when I said that. Yes, Drist from the Forgotten Realms, obviously, by R.A. Salvatore from the now defunct Think Geek slash GameStop exclusive Modern Icons line. Damn shame. R.I.P. to that line. And we finished off the week with Schoolgirl Saturday, as we just went over with our girl. I was gonna make a smart ass comment, but I won't. It's Miku, but not Miku. That's what I was gonna say. But I was like, eh. People already gave me a hard time when I said that in the actual video. But yeah, this is Miku Nakano, of course, of the quintessential quintuplets. And yes, she counts as schoolgirl because she is one. So, what I usually do is I give my favorite pick of the week and ask you guys in the chat and at home in the VODs who was your favorite pick. Now, I usually do a higher end and a lower end. In this case, I'm talking about retail price, not aftermarket prices, because otherwise things would be a little bit different. I got to go for the higher end stuff. It's got to be Drist because he is the only higher end piece. Even though these only retailed at $50, he's the higher end of them. And I mean, he's my favorite piece of the week. 100%. I love this piece so much. As far as the lower end stuff, um, I think my Hatsune Miku bias has got to go. I know I love Rem, but Rem is not Miku. I think Rem is best girl, but Rem is also not Miku. And with the problems I had with the Ninja Rem and the base, I can't in good conscience give the win to her over the very classy, very pretty, very adorable cabin attendant Miku. So those were my picks of the week. Let me know again in the comments later who your favorite was. And excuse me, I hope I muted in time. Oh God, I almost just died. Oh, excuse me. Um, yeah, so let me know which ones were your favorites in the comments down below. Yeah, Darkness, of course, of course you'd say that. Yeah, because it's big booby waifus. Cheer, I'll drink to that one. Oh man, I gotta keep chasing my coffee down with my. I might just mix my coffee with my shaker cup real quick. I don't know, but that was it for the figures this week. Now we do have some topics to discuss today. And, you know, I, I can't say they're good or bad topics. Honestly, it's more like it's entertaining maybe because some of the stuff we're going to talk about today involves PlayStation. And you guys know anything about me, I'm a big PlayStation guy. Okay, PlayStation's been my main system. It's been my main console for God as long as I can think of. You know, um, sorry, I had to respond to somebody who was defending the contractor that messed up my stuff. I mean, I made a public forum post about the contractors that I had and said, "Hey, they broke a bunch of my statues." And then told me to piss off and sue them. So yeah, I had to post about that. But yeah, we're gonna get into the news portion of things now, and we're gonna talk first. I, I don't know if I want to talk about Sony first. I was trying to think of something a little bit I could possibly talk about first. And you know what? I'm going to talk about something a little bit sad for me before we get into the nitty gritty PlayStation stuff. It is Japan adjacent, right? So Japan adjacent. Whoops. So I want to go over here to Crunchyroll News. And I want to talk about this real quick. This will be a quick news bit. But it's something that I'm a little bummed out about because you guys know I love K-pop and I love J-rock. Like I'm not ashamed of that. I'm in my 40s and I love K-pop and I love J-rock and I don't think it's ever going to change, right? This one bummed me out. Japanese rock band Scandal to disband in August after their final tour. Band recently celebrated their anniversary milestone at Osaka Joe Hall. So this is a bummer for me. I love Scandal. They are one of the bands that I've been following for quite some time. Them and Bandmate, they're kind of up there as like my my goats for longevity in the female J rock space. So I just want to read this real quick, and then we're going to move on to stuff we can make fun of, right? This is a little bit more. This is kind of the most negative news. Uh, it's almost the end of an era for fans of Japanese rock band Scandal. Following a 20th anniversary concert at Osaka Joe Hall on August 21st, the band members announced plans to cease activities a year from now. Thankfully, they won't be going out without one final bang, or rather, a full year of them. So we have a positive and we have a negative. They are going to cease next August. So we're going to have a year-long tour with them, which I need to see them. I need to see them. They need to come to the States. The end of Scandal isn't framed as a sad farewell, but more one with a deep sense of accomplishment. As they say in the statement, after 2 decades of seeing the world and fulfilling dreams, the four of us feel that we have truly done all that we could together. Here's the full message. On August 21st, 2026, Scandal celebrated its 20th anniversary with the Scandal 20th Anniversary Live Chapter 20 at Osaka Joe Hall. Osaka Joe Hall is a stage the four of us dreamed of standing on when we had just formed the band. Over the years, we have celebrated many important days on the stage here at Osaka Joe Hall. On this important day, marking 20 years as a band, we are proud to be standing here once again, still the same four members we were back then. Now, that's a big accomplishment. Not a lot of bands have the same members for 20 years, okay? There are a lot of rotating bands, especially in the J-rock and the K-pop, kind of worlds. So, shout out to them for doing that. After their performance, to everyone who came to this venue, watched the live stream, and celebrated our 20th anniversary with us, we would like to express our deepest gratitude. After this performance, there's something the four of us would like to tell you. Our 20-year journey as Scandal will reach its final chapter on August 21st, 2027. Over these years, we have traveled throughout Japan and the world. Although places we've been able to visit, the people we've met, and the many experiences we could only have had by living our lives as Scandal, the four of us feel that we have truly done all that we could together. Deciding how to bring an end to a band that has been together for this long was truly difficult, but after talking it over many times, the four of us eventually came to this conclusion. As our final journey together, we will tour all 47 prefectures of Japan starting this October. And on August 21st, our 21st anniversary, we will hold a solo concert at Yokohama Arena. Over this final year together, we'll cherish every show and every day, and we'll keep playing as the four of us until the very last moment. From Scandal. Now, they have not announced anything about a U.S. tour. They just said something about Japan, which I'm a little bummed out about, I'm not going to lie, because the last time I was supposed to see Scandal, my plans fell through. So I am hoping they do a U.S. tour and not just a tour of Japan. But I guess we will see. So that was kind of the... I don't know. It was crappy news for me. I wasn't a fan of that news. Sucks. But it is amazing that that band has stayed together as long as they have for so many years they've done. I think that it's crazy that they've been together as long as they have. So shout out to the ladies of Scandal. And I do hope that I get to see them live, because that would be, that would be awesome. Now I think Bandmade has been around for about 13 years. So they're catching up to them, right? Um Am I ready for Gamescom? That starts on Thursday, I believe, right? I think it's Thursday. Oh, it is. It's today. Oh, crap. I thought that was Thursday. I'll have to see what time that's at. Maybe I'll do a react stream to one of the live streams. It's gonna happen at. Oh, it's at 2. Ooh, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing it. I thought it was later tonight. Oh man, I wanted to react to that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. That sucks. It's 2 p.m. Yeah, I don't know. That's in an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to be able to do a double deal. We're gonna see. Maybe I'll be able to do double duty, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, the future games. Yeah, I was looking at all the dates just now as you were talking about it, Loudboy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and see what I can do. I know we've got tomorrow. Let's see, the Xbox Live Showcase is at 10 a.m. I'll be streaming during that. Just looking to see what we've got. Xbox Live Broadcast 2. Um, yeah, I was looking to see. I think maybe I'll be able to do some of that. Oh yeah, the dude, all the gaming stuff is getting expensive. And that could be a good segue into our PlayStation stuff. But since you mentioned Xbox, maybe I should go to this article first. Get some of the small articles out of the way first. Since you did mention Xbox, we're going to go over to something that I'm actually happy about. So let's start. Let's get some happy news and then go to the crappy news. So let's do that. Let's go to happy news. Speaking of Xbox, I'm very excited about this. I'm very, very happy. I'm over here on Eurogamer. Double Fine confirms it owns all of its games, IP, and publishing rights after the Xbox split. Double down. Some good news! Double Fine has confirmed it owns, or will shortly own, the intellectual property and publishing rights to every game it's made during its 7 years under Xbox, following the studio's split from Microsoft earlier this year. CEO Tim Schafer confirmed the news on Kinda Funny Games, fielding a fan question about whether buying Double Fine's back catalog, including Psychonauts 2, Keeper, and Kiln, actually puts money in the studio's pockets. I saw a question there. Do you guys make money on games? Schaefer said. The transfer of the IP came back to us, and we got the publishing rights back to all of our games. That said, some of the games remain with Xbox for the time being, but Schaefer explained that it just takes a while for it all to process. If you're curious, buying any of our games helps support the studio, he emphasized. We can turn that money into revenue that helps us extend that runway. Schaefer also revealed Double Fine's next move will be to revive its Amnesia Fortnite game jam as Kickstarter campaigns, letting backers vote on which prototype becomes the studio's next full project. The jam is set to run from the 31st of August through most of September. It is the clearest confirmation yet of how Double Fine has to come out of the other side of Xbox's restructuring. Xbox's wider reorganization, announced by CEO Asha Sharma in July, affected around 3,200 roles across the division and saw several studios, including Double Fine, spun back out into independence while keeping hold of their IP and back catalogs. Double Fine itself laid off roughly a quarter of its 90-person team as part of the transition, saying at the time the cuts were needed to reach a size that we can sustain. Compulsion Games, the We Happy Few and South of Midnight studio, also cut loose from Xbox in the same restructuring, has similarly confirmed it retains ownership of its IP. Nobody cares about either one of those games, though, guys. We're just happy that Double Fine is going to keep going. Maybe with Kickstarter and everything else, they can do something like maybe another Psychonauts, I love Psychonauts, but I would like to see, just hear me out, I would like to see Brutal Legend remastered and possibly a sequel. What do you think about Brutal Legend? Did anyone play that game? I saw that the night, yeah, the card stolen from, yeah, yep, I did see that. I saw those too, yep. Had you ever played Brutal Legend? Did anyone ever play Brutal Legend or Psychonauts? Dude, I loved those games. I'm trying to get my hands on a copy of Psychonauts 2 for the PS4 because it's starting to go up in price. I didn't realize they ever made a physical copy of it. So I am trying to get my hands on that. But if you never played Brutal Legend, dude, that game was that game was a gem. I adored that game. As much as it's Jack Black, it was really, 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 really good. And now that Double Fine is on their own, I think there is a good chance for us to get something from this. So again, I followed the news with some good news. And now, oh man, I don't even want to talk about it yet. I don't want to talk about it yet because I'm gonna go and rant about it. I want to see what other news stories I can blow through before we get to the big story. Um, let's talk about. You mentioned Switch 2. I saw Switch 2 in the chat. Um, let's go to something from the Switch 2 real quick. Another little tiny, tiny, tiny nugget from all you Souls guys, all you Souls bros out there. We're gonna talk over here on IGN about the Duskbloods. From Software sincerely apologizes for the Duskbloods network test server issues. Ends its first slot early. FromSoft has announced Duskblood's network test has reached an early end after the first day of testing resulted in game server issues that barred players from logging in. Not a very good day one test. The Dark Souls developer's bloody new PvPvE Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive action game was originally set to come out to a limited number of players today as part of a weekend's worth of closed tests. The early sign-up period had fans clamoring for codes, but when the tests began, it quickly became clear that most will have to wait to get their hands on the Duskbloods. The first of 5 early gameplay periods kicked off on August 21st at 3 a.m., aka 6 a.m. Eastern, or at least it's supposed to be what happened. Instead, most players spent their time on social media sharing pictures of the Duskbloods admitted to the atmospheric title screen. Pretty crazy. So network test isn't starting off good. Failed to log into the Duskbloods game server, the error message read by many today said. Select OK to attempt to log in again. The upside is that yes, the Duskbloods network test was a resounding success, but only because it proved that there was so much more testing to be done. From Software acknowledged the hangups with a message on X Twitter saying we would sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. The message to fans also notified them that the first test had been closed before its originally planned time. For now, the schedule posted on its website has additional tests scheduled throughout the weekend, including one later today, one tomorrow, and 2 throughout Sunday. It's unclear if the remaining times have been impacted, with the studio's messages on social media, meanwhile promising to work on improving the servers and announce future schedules at a later date. So, I don't know how the other tests went. I'm going to look up right now if I can find out if they did. Because it looks like they gave up on the first one. And it looks like the other ones weren't really responding too good. But we did get it surpassed Elden Ring Night Rain in applicants. But a lot of people had trouble logging into it. Um, so I don't know. This is why I don't like always online online required games. I think that is one of the biggest reasons. That is one of the biggest issues when we have these digital only, online only games. I'm gonna make a mess right now, so bear with me. I'm gonna mix my coffee into my protein. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if I should even attempt this, but we're gonna try. Oh my God, I actually did it without spilling. Oh my God, I did it without spilling. Okay, I'll get back to my thought in a second. I really needed to concentrate on that. Okay, that was good. So where was I now before I got very dialed in there? Um, that is my biggest issue with the online games. Um, and it is because you are going to have server issues. You are going to have all kinds of problems with your servers, right? And I would prefer, I prefer my games to just be able to be played. Um, but I get it. I get it. We're gonna have, we're gonna have online games, but I did see that. I thought they announced it. I thought they announced something. I think they're supposed to be showing something at Gamescom, I believe, for Persona 6. But we already knew that was 2028. Yeah, we already knew that. That was announced with their little teaser trailer thing that they did. Their little teaser with the ghosty things and the logo. So yeah, we already kind of saw that. So yeah, we did a little bit of Switch. We did a little bit of that. We did. I keep delaying the inevitable. I keep delaying the inevitable. Okay, so I have two choices right now. Two choices. Do we jump into the PlayStation Blackout, or do we go into a little talk about GTA 6 first? Because those are the two big topics I got really to talk about today. Is GTA 6 leaking and the PlayStation Blackout. We're going to talk about both. Both I find a little humorous for different reasons. And I think GTA 6 is going to be the the quicker topic, I think, because there isn't really a lot of debating about that. GTA 6, GTA 6. Okay, all right. I guess we're gonna go to GTA first. I'm not going to show any of the GTA stuff, any leaks or anything like that. But there are some things that have happened lately. So we'll go over. I'm going to go to two articles on IGN because they do tie together. So we're going to go over here with GTA 6. And this one actually just got an update. So GTA 6 leaker releases even more gameplay videos as people spend hundreds of dollars to vote on the next leak, fueling the crypto scheme. So, GTA 6 leakers continued to release new gameplay clips and is even running a poll to decide which video to leak next, despite Rockstar parent company Take-Two's ongoing hunt for the people responsible. A 10th leaked GTA 6 video was released last night, this time showing plain at night gameplay. There is no cutscene footage this time. The watermarks are the same as those on the previous video, advertising the CyberLeak token at the heart of the cryptocurrency scheme that is believed to be the motivating factor behind all this. Another watermark doubles down on the anti-all digital future manifesto that formed part of the initial CyberLeak website. It reads, "They want to take your right to resell. The peaceful route got us nowhere. This was plotted by them for years. It's time to fight now or never." Um, Meanwhile, CyberLeak has a new poll available on its website with a number of gameplay video choices people can vote on by sending tokens. People are currently spending hundreds of dollars worth of tokens to vote. The poll ends today, August 24th, which was yesterday, which suggests the leaker or leakers intend to continue to release gameplay videos even in the face of Take-Two subpoenas of Microsoft, Discord, and X as part of the company's hunt for identifying information. We are now into the sixth consecutive day of CyberLeak releases in what has to be one of the most remarkable video game leaks of all time. It is now just a few days until Rockstar's official GTA 6 reveal, exclusive to Netflix for 6 hours. This was actually from the previous day. So we'll go over here. This is the original story. I don't want to do all the updates. Well, I'll do the update. This is actually just the same. So the main video, the main thing was the alleged GTA 6 leaker has released 2 gameplay videos despite the subpoenas. CyberLeak person or group released 2 videos today on August 22nd, one showing supercar gameplay and an armed robbery, the other one strip club gameplay. The latter appears to taunt Take-Two and Rockstar by showing a snippet of a cutscene in which the character says they need to take a leak. This is the second cutscene to emerge this week, and there is a growing concern that the leaker has access to a build of the game and may post significant story spoilers. Spoiler alert, they do. I've watched them. I have watched them. Yeah. The new videos are the 7th and 8th leak this week, and like all the others, they advertise the CyberLeak meme coin as part of what is widely considered to be a crypto scheme. On August 20th, Take-Two Digital issued a Digital Millennium Copyright Act, so DMCA, takedown subpoenas in federal court requesting information from both Microsoft and Discord as a part of its hunt for the leaker or leakers behind the recent spate of GTA 6 gameplay videos. Take-Two wants identifying information associated with the user accounts that were members of a number of Discord servers, including one relating to Australian GTA content creator Matt Judge, aka Dark Viper AU. Judge has denied any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Take-Two issued GitHub with the DMCA takedown notice on Wednesday, saying the infringer is sharing the stolen content from our copyright. Takedown notice added, the entire repository must be completely disabled. There are no remedies to rectify this clear case of infringement. Via the subpoenas, Take-Two wants to identify those responsible for posting the leaks on GitHub, as well as all internal Microsoft business records and investigative records associated with Microsoft's internal investigation of the CyberLeak persona, sufficient to identify the user, person, and entities associated with that persona. The U.S. District Courts of New York granted Microsoft's subpoena on August 21st. Last night, Chief Technical Officer Scott Van Vliet tweeted to address the situation, saying, "We're working closely with Take-Two and Rockstar Games to support its efforts to protect creative works and IP." Discord told Variety, Discord sometimes receives subpoenas related to Digital Millennium Copyright Act. We review and comply with valid subpoenas when we receive them, as is standard and routine for companies like ours. Neither Rockstar nor Take-Two have issued a statement so far. IGN has asked for comments. It's pretty interesting, right? So we're going to go to the next article right here because this was pretty hilarious. I did watch this leak, and it was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a nothing burger, but it was funny. GTA 6 leaker drops new nudity-filled gameplay, polls people on whether to release the story spoilers, which, spoiler alert, people are going to vote for that. And people are voting with lots of money. Suggests footage of game's prologue will soon be released. So this past week's extraordinary set of GTA 6 leaks appear to have continued today with a significant new release of footage that depicts mass nudity. And yes, it does, dude. It is full nudity. There is swinging wangs. There's bush. There's no bush. There's fat women. There's fit women. There's fat men. There's old men. There's... It's a who's who of wangs and vaginas in it, okay? I watched the footage. I got a little bit of a laugh out of it. Lot of flaccid wangs dangling in the wind. And even fat women twerking on old men, which is pretty funny, by the way. But yeah. The leaker's suggested story spoilers could be posted next, and has called on fans to protest outside the offices of Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive. Today's newly posted footage from the CyberLeak person or group depicts GTA 6 main character Jason exploring a nudist town area filled with naked characters. And yes, they are. Male and female genitalia are both fully exposed. Explicit dialogue can be heard as the NPCs party, while the player uses binoculars to zoom in on character models. And I did find it funny that when you zoom in on them, they give you a hard time. They did show that. It was pretty entertaining because they'll give you crap for having clothes on, and B, they gave them crap for like snooping on them. The action eventually results in fighting breaking out, leading to the player ultimately gunning numerous civilians down. And they are a horrible shot, by the way. While the amount of nudity on screen is surprising, the footage is perhaps even more noticeable for its watermarked message, which claims that the footage of a Lucia-led prologue could be released next. Once again, the leaker calls for fans to vote on what they should release, cast by spending cryptocurrency that earns the leakers money. It's important to note something that is widely believed to be a crypto scheme. Bizarrely, the leaker also calls for a physical show of support from those watching and states that they want gamers dressed up as leaks to hold up game discs while standing outside of Rockstar offices in protest. This marks another significant escalation by those responsible for the leaks, who have called for real world action for the first time. Additionally, it's worth stating that the gameplay released to date has included two snippets of cutscenes that feature no significant story details and mostly focus on open world gameplay of Jason. It seems far more significant footage of the game may leak next. The leaker also seems to be attempting to highlight their initially stated reason for the leaks as a form of protest against the decision not to offer GTA via physical disc, something that was announced just days before PlayStation revealed it would kill PS5 game discs for new games releasing in January of 2028. All this comes ahead of Netflix exclusive reveal of GTA 6 gameplay footage via its GTA 6 extended look, which is set for Thursday and will remain exclusive on the streaming platform for 6 hours before making its way to other platforms like YouTube. According to Bloomberg, Rockstar still doesn't know how these leaks happened nor who is behind them. It's got to be an inside job. And while there are no plans to shift this week's big Netflix reveal, Bloomberg reported that there is frustration and anger internally at recent events, with management sending morale boosting emails to staff. Former Rockstar Games technical director Oba Vermengi, I think it is, Vermige, however, downplayed the damage caused by the leaks. Yeah, he basically said, who cares how much they leak? People are still going to buy it, which is true. It doesn't matter how much the game gets leaked. It doesn't matter what we see, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly, whether it's swinging wangs and bouncing boobs and fat people twerking on each other. People are going to buy this game. It's going to make all the money. And it is. GTA is out on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on November 19th. Take-Two has subpoenaed Microsoft Discord and X Twitter, but the leaker appears undeterred. IGN has asked Take-Two and Rockstar for comment and has not gotten one yet. I am fascinated about this because I think it's kind of a twofold thing, right? We have this leaker who is leaking things and making a ton of money off of it, right? But now we've got them saying it's because of the killing of physical media. Is that the real reason, or is that just the next step? Right? I don't know. But um just looking up something real quick. I wanted to find something. I know they had posted that they had I believe it was called a kill switch. Forget what it was called, but they had I was trying to find the article that talked about it. But I know they had set up that CyberLeak had actually let's see. I know that he had announced that if he is caught, he will give the game. Yes, it says right here. I think this is it right here. Yes, this is it right here. So I'm gonna go over to Insider Gaming real quick, since we're still talking about GTA, right? Um, we're gonna talk about this real quick because this is what I was talking about. The GTA 6 leaker threatens to give the build to millions of gamers around the globe. CyberLeak, the GTA leaker group, has started all these drops under the guise of supporting gamers fighting against the digitization of the industry, has posted a bold statement openly threatening and warning Rockstar Games and Take-Two against taking any further action against them. Does it say that nude spot was wild? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was kind of crazy what they did. It was a very interesting spot to showcase for a leak. But honestly, it's going to get more people to buy it because they're going to see all of these crazy things happening in the game. I think it's going to help sales, not hurt sales. Um, so, according to the group, which has been soaking up what could amount to millions of dollars in crypto funds as the leaking situation has unraveled, they have complete build of GTA 6 backed up in multiple locations around the world. If Rockstar doesn't leave CyberLeak alone, it'll drop the build, granting access to millions of gamers in a matter of days. Um, Earlier today, CyberLeak uncovered the seventh leak for GTA, emerging from the midst of an intense legal battle that has seen Take-Two subpoena everyone, blah, blah, blah. Desperate to uncover the group's identity. This has been a wildfire week for the gaming space, and it shows no signs of cooling off anytime soon. In a post on their website, CyberLeak, the anonymous, mysterious entity going to war with Rockstar and Take-Two, wrote, "CyberLeak has the build. It has had it for some time, and it no longer lives in one place. Copies sit in on drives and servers spread across the globe in places Take-Two cannot reach. There is nothing left to seize. There is no server to raid. There are only copies, and none of them take orders anymore. Every day, CyberLeak must choose to cancel its release. Every day, that choice is made again, by hand, on purpose. The game stays buried because CyberLeak keeps burying it, not because Rockstar secured anything. The choice lives wherever CyberLeak is, and nowhere else. The hunting CyberLeak would accomplish nothing. The copies no longer need it. They do not need to be found, moved, or sent. Silencing CyberLeak would accomplish less than nothing. If anything happens to it, if it ever misses a morning, the cancellations end on their own. Nobody has to press anything. The release simply stops being canceled. And within days, GTA 6 will be running on the personal computers of millions of gamers around the globe. Complete, permanent, no refund, no patch, no alternatives. Every day CyberLeak is left alone is another day the game stays buried. Rockstar's best move is to tread lightly. This schedule has no end date. It resets every morning, forever. Tread lightly. That is wild. Okay. I believe that's called a kill switch, right? So every day, whoever is in charge of this leak, whoever this is, has to manually log in and manually cancel the upload at certain times every day. And they've threatened that because if they get arrested and they go to jail and they miss their deadline, the game will be released worldwide, all over the internet. That's pretty bold. It's pretty wild. And it is one hell of a threat. So I don't know what you do if you're Rockstar in this situation. Do you try to have this person arrested? Do you lay off? Do you do what they want and release the game physically? I mean, what do you do? This is a huge threat. This isn't even a threat. This is a promise that this hacker group or just single hacker, whoever it is issuing. This is not a threat. This is a promise. You arrest me, you find me, and it's going to go live to everybody. That is a wild statement to make. So, as they say here, this is arguably the trickiest spot Take-Two and Rockstar Games could have ever found themselves in. To be this close to launch and have this threat looming over the entire project is dire. Many believe it's some kind of twisted marketing campaign by the team, given that they promise something that nobody has ever seen before. There's a running theory that CyberLeak will end up being an in-game entity in some form. That would be wild if CyberLeak is a troll for the actual game. That would be wild, but I think that's wishful thinking. We can hope, but we don't know. The fact that nothing critical like core story components has been leaked speaks volumes. All we've seen thus far is relatively safe content like gameplay mechanics, some open world exploration elements, and now we got the nudist stuff. If the conspiracy theorists are right, it could be the biggest bait and switch in history. Now, honestly, when was this article? This article was posted 3 days ago before the nudist colony leak. So I don't know. I would think that would be the greatest troll ever if CyberLeak is in GTA 6 and this is a troll. But I don't know. I guess we'll see if they leak more stuff. But that being said, from the CyberLeak GTA war on digital only media, we're going to go to the big deal, to the nonsense, to the PlayStation Blackout, the Sony boycott, the PS Blackout, whatever you want to call it, the exodus from PlayStation. I'm going to go over, we're going to read this little article from Polygon first, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. Because I have some thoughts. Let me take a sip real quick, because I'm going to be a little thirsty. All right, so the PlayStation owners begin Sony boycott with digital blackout protest. No disc, no buy. Now, anybody who's been following me for any amount of time or anyone who's known me for any amount of time knows this has been my motto forever. I said this back during the height of Baldur's Gate 3. If Baldur's Gate 3 is digital only, I will not buy it no matter how good it is. And I did not buy it, and I did not play it until they released a physical copy of it. Then I bought it, and I played it, and I thought it was okay. It was the best Divinity game I've ever played, and the least favorite Baldur's Gate game I've ever played. But I played it because they offered it physically. That has been my motto forever. The game does not have a physical copy. I will not pay retail price or any price for that game. So, leading into the article now. This summer, Sony announced it would be ceasing PlayStation physical disc production in January of 2028. Fans were not pleased with this decision and tried to make their voices heard, to no avail. However, this doesn't mean they are ready to give up either. Part of the community came together and organized a digital blackout protest, which started officially on August 23rd. In the fiscal presentation for the first quarter of 2026, Sony CFO Lin Tao revealed that most PlayStation sales were digital. Therefore, eliminating discs from the equation wouldn't financially hurt the company. At that point, the boycott was already scheduled for late August, and Sony's disregard for players' opinions about physical media only fueled them. On the same day as the protests were scheduled to begin, Sony sent out a reminder of its terms of use, which includes the PlayStation end user license agreement stating that the software is licensed to you, not sold. In that aspect, every digital game and media terms of service says that same thing and has forever. This is not new. Um, and if you think this is new, you've been living under a rock for 20 years. Um, from August 23rd until August 30th, those who wish to participate in the PlayStation Blackout will not make in-game purchases, use the PlayStation Store, subscribe to PlayStation Plus, or play PlayStation. They are, however, encouraged to support physical media. At the moment, the protest is only set to last a week, although fans have reported that they will follow these guidelines indefinitely. On the other hand, there are players who asked for rescheduling due to the Modern Warfare 4 beta, which takes place on August 28th. Various members of the gaming community have been fighting for their rights to own media because, as Sony so kindly pointed out, virtual content is licensed, not owned. Terminating disc production means that PlayStation owners will no longer actually own the games they purchase or be able to resell them in the future. Digital libraries cause uncertainty. They also destroy the secondhand market, which has always been more affordable for players to acquire games and allows original owners to repurpose games they no longer play. Companies aren't necessarily open to giving up this all digital future. Take Two Interactive, Grand Theft Auto 6 publisher, has been targeted by serious hackers who've threatened to leak the entire game, allegedly as a protest against the lack of physical releases for GTA 6. However, Take Two is taking the matter to court in an attempt to locate the data miners, all while more leaks continue to surface on social media. It's unknown and honestly unlikely whether this protest will affect Sony at all. Hopefully, the company will at least take notice that, while profits are necessary, a necessary priority in the business, fostering a massive disconnect with players' community could ultimately end up doing more harm than good. Um, so yes, that is a lot to unpack. All right. For a little thing, it is a lot. There is a lot to unpack here. So, um, the biggest problem, I say again, with the digital only nonsense is, well, it's probably going to be exactly what they're saying. It is going to destroy your secondhand market. It is going to get rid of all of that. It's going to um it's going to get rid of what they mocked Xbox for doing back in 2013, I believe it was, where they made their commercial saying, if you want to have a PlayStation game and give it to your friend, here, and they just handed it to each other, right? We now went from they were trolling Xbox to now they're the ones in that position. So it's the classic, the now classic line. Uh, well, I don't even want to say the line. It was, you know, I don't even. Well, does it actually even apply here? I don't know. You know, you go, you be the hero long enough, you become the villain. You know, the cliched kind of thing. I don't know. I guess it does apply here, right? Because Sony kind of is becoming the villain. Sorry, I was just responding to somebody real quick. Um, I'm getting people getting mad still. I'm still arguing with people online about the PlayStation stuff. But it is the cliched, you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. It kind of does work that way because now we've seen Sony kind of came to all of our defense back in the day against Xbox and their digital only future. And now they are becoming that. While here's Xbox going, hey guys, we're going to make it so you can put your Xbox discs on your computer and get those games. Play those games now. So they're kind of doing the opposite. They're switching places. I mean, Xbox really isn't much different. They aren't really as heavy into the physical game market either. And their thing is because of Game Pass, you know. So my big argument with the digital PlayStation thing and this blackout, A, I'm not participating in the blackout. I already don't do PlayStation Plus. I already don't buy digital games. I already don't buy DLC. So the big three things there, I already do. I already do on a regular basis. Um, the not playing on PlayStation part, I'm gonna have to say no on that. PlayStations are my primary gaming space. I do have a computer here, obviously I can play on, but I don't buy full price games on my computer. I don't buy them. I do not buy full price games digitally at all. I refuse to, and that is my thing. Um, the biggest thing I argue about, and this is my PlayStation Blackout hot take. I think this was at a stupid time. If you wanted to make a real point, you do the blackout during the launch of Wolverine. Tell people not to buy Wolverine, don't purchase Wolverine, don't download a demo for Wolverine, don't log on to PlayStation during the launch of Wolverine. Because they have a new game launching soon. The blackout should have been taking place during that, not during a Call of Duty beta. Who gives a shit about Call of Duty's beta? They make $0 from people playing a Call of Duty beta. But do you know what would hurt them? If people were not using their services or buying their games during the launch of their big first party game, Wolverine. Why did no one think of this? I don't know. But I think it's poor planning or just ignorance. I think the smartest thing would have been to schedule this during Wolverine. Do I think it was going to make much difference? I don't. And that leads me to where my hot take is. My big hot take is this boycott, this protest, this nonsense is too little, way too late. This is something that should have been done across all platforms, including movies and TV, years ago. And the reason why we're getting this all digital crap that we're getting now is on us. And I don't mean all of us, because I know I'm not even included in this part, but us people in general, the consumers. It is the consumer's fault. And this goes back, I know this is going to be cringe, but this goes back to the way we were conditioned, people were conditioned during the COVID era. You guys remember during the COVID era, you couldn't really buy things in stores. You couldn't go anywhere. Physical started really getting pushed away. The digital stuff really started getting in our face. PlayStation Plus was getting more aggressive. Game Pass was getting more aggressive. All the streaming services magically popped up when we were all locked down, right? And it started the building blocks for our all digital push, right? Nobody cared about it back then. And then we all got used to it. I know the majority of people I talk to still talk crap to me for owning physical discs and buying physical discs. Because they always say, well, I preload mine at midnight and I'm ready to go. I don't even have to do anything. That is the biggest problem. As gamers, we let laziness and convenience and the FOMO take away and kill our physical media. It is on us. It is on the gamers as a whole to why this crap is happening. We have allowed it. And again, not all of us, but the majority of gamers have allowed this to happen. Whether it's, again, the laziness. Well, I don't have to get up and change a disc. I just switch games. The convenience. I don't have to leave my house. It's loaded on my console at midnight, right? Laziness and convenience. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I set it up and it's good. I don't have to get up off my ass and switch a disc. I can just do it. Same reason why streaming is the way it is. Gamers are doing this to themselves. And the biggest thing, and I gotta say it, with the popularity and the rise of streaming and streamers, the FOMO, getting the game first, streaming the game first, is another big reason why digital is doing what it does. Do you think a popular streamer on Twitch or YouTube or anywhere else is going to want to wait till 11 or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning to go pick up their copy of a game? No. They're going to preload that game. It's going to be on their console at midnight. They're going to start their stream live and they're going to go because they're going to be the first ones to stream the game. So all these things have led up to this all digital nonsense that we've gotten. Does the company have something to blame? Absolutely, the company is to blame for this too. But the company is going from their analytics and what they're seeing. And they're seeing a rise in people buying physical or digital. They're seeing a decline in physical. They're not noting that most stores don't even carry physical media anymore, but that's a whole nother part of this argument. I think the big three reasons are the consumer-related issues. The content creator and the consumer issues. We have caused it ourselves. Or just the consumer in general. Again, and I don't want you all to think I'm talking about everyone. Because again, I'm not part of this group either. I am physical only. Okay? But I have gotten a lot of people very pissed off at me for saying that. And it's going to be my hill to die on. We have caused our own problems in the gaming sphere. Just like we've done it in the movie and TV sphere. We have decided to give up, spoiler alert for something I'm going to talk about, for owning a physical game, right? We have given this up. Opening the disc, taking the game out, and putting it into our console. We gave that up because we're lazy. Because it's less convenient to open a case and put a disc into your drive and get up off your ass for 2 seconds. We did this for convenience sake. And the game companies and these companies, they're just looking at the trends. I hate saying it. And I know they're not exempt from blame. Because I do believe that the companies should give all gamers an option. We should be given that option. If it's 10% of your customer base is buying physical, just release less copies of the physical game. But give the option. I think it's all parties are at fault. And I think the biggest fault is in the consumer. It's the same reason why we have so many streaming services. Because everyone decided to say, well, hey, why manufacture all these discs? We can just put the stuff on our streaming service. We can take it down whenever we want. People have to come to us for it, or they don't get it. We, as a consumer society, have done this. We have caused this. And the problem is, we're too little too late to fix it. And I think if it does get course corrected, it is going to be a snowball's chance in hell that it's going to course correct. I don't think, no matter how many protests we do, how many times we send angry letters or petitions, it's not going to change. Look what's already happened with streaming. Okay? You look at streaming now, that's all anyone does. They just scroll through Netflix and everything else. You look at your Xbox. Majority, and I'm not saying all, majority of people that are on Xbox, Game Pass. Streaming their game, digital download their game, not getting up off their ass, not getting up off their seat. Convenience. That is the biggest thing. And majority of people have fallen into that trap of laziness, convenience, and FOMO. And I don't think that there's any coming back from this. I don't see a world. I think the only chance that we could have in turning this around is if everybody came together and stopped buying the digital games and they saw an uptick in their physical games. But it's not going to happen. Again, the streamers, the content creators, they're not going to go out and wait for that game. They are going to want that game instantly. The regular consumer, the 20, 30, 40-year-old gamer, they don't want to go out to the store in the morning. They don't want to wait for Amazon to deliver their package. They want it that night. They want to be online, locked in, ready to go. And we've now gotten to that point where getting a game early was going to a store at a midnight release and talking to a bunch of people and hanging out. And we've devolved from that to pre-registering, to preload the game, pre-buy it, and then load it and have it already launched and ready to go at midnight. We have traded physical ownership for laziness because we are lazy, for the convenience. And now we're up in arms over it. But it's a problem that we caused. It is a problem that, again, the majority of gamers have caused. Gamers have brought this on themselves. And I can't keep saying we because I'm not part of it, but gamers have put this on themselves. And now there's a small minority that are being vocal about it. And it's too little too late, man. This should have been protested years ago. And nobody cared. Because you know what? Everyone just said, well, nothing's going to change. And that's what they did. But now, all of a sudden, everyone's up in arms. And it's way, 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 way too late to change it. Just like with streaming. Streaming isn't going to change. It's not going to suddenly, all the streaming is going to go away. It's going to be network TV again and, good quality shows with 20 episodes, a year that get ad revenue and things like that. No, we're never going to go back to that. The status quo has changed. And our laziness, our comfort, that's what it boils down to. Our laziness and our convenience and our comfort have caused all these problems. And it's not a do things smarter, not harder kind of aspect. It is the fact that people are lazy. And people would prefer sitting on their ass in their house in their convenience with their game preloaded on their console. And that's fine. But for those people who are digital game consumers, it's kind of weird seeing them all start bitching about no digital or no physical now. Because you're part of the problem. And if you're part of the problem, I don't want to hear you bitching about the problem and what we can do to solve the problem. Because the only way to solve it is to put the money where your mouth is. Don't buy digital games anymore and start supporting physical media. It's the only way they're going to see any difference is if you see a shift in the trends. That's what they look at. The companies look at the numbers. And if the numbers are telling them 85% of our sales are digital, they're going to cater to that. They're going to go all in on that because they're going to go, we save on production, we save on advertising costs. And guess what? We don't ever have to worry about them going on clearance because guess what? It's on our storefront. We get 100% of the proceeds. Gamers caused this to happen. We continue to allow it until it's too late, and then we make a big deal out of it. And that's my biggest problem with all this. I have been forever saying how physical matters. Buy your physical games. Support GameStop. Support your local game stores. Support all that. And people always mocked me. People, Game Pass is the future. Game Pass is the future. Steam is the future. Blah, 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 blah. And now people are pissed off because Sony's going all digital. PC players have been all digital for over a decade. And don't bat an eye. So again, we have conditioned ourselves for this. I stopped PC gaming when they stopped doing physical games. Because again, I want my disc. I want to have my game. But people just fell right in line with it. And granted, Steam is a great platform. Steam has some great sales. I just picked up 7 digital games for $10. There's some great deals to be had on some older stuff. But if you want a new game, you're still spending $60, $70 for it. Just like on every other service. Taking away the physical game and all those manufacturing costs did not lower the consumer price of entry. It just increased the company's profits. And that's why I do not like all digital. It does nothing for the consumer on their end as far as affordability. It does give you bottom dollar at the end on your company side. But the customer doesn't see that. But again, on the customer side, the customers are lazy. And the customers want that immediate access. And they want that convenience. And honestly, nobody's been complaining or boycotting games that are digital only at $60 and $70. Nobody's been batting an eye about that. People will order the new Madden digitally. They will look at GTA pre-orders, $100 version of a digital game. Highest selling one. But we're going to bitch and complain because PlayStation is going all digital. You're part of the problem. Again, I do not understand how it can be this bad. And it's so tone deaf. We're giving two totally different messages as a gaming community here, right? We've got the let's protest PlayStation, but then we've got the let's buy the $100 GTA 6 digital edition. You're giving two drastically different messages. And I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the day, the money from that $100 digital GTA version pre-orders is going to far outweigh any amount of protest on PlayStation. They are going to give zero shits about your protest when they're seeing a ton of idiots go out and purchase the $100 GTA 6. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to go, okay, sure, protest us. Do you see all that money we're making right now off a digital game? And even worse, a digital deluxe edition of a game? Where we're going to throw you some extra shit on your digital license? They're going to laugh all the way to the bank. So no, I'm not partaking in the PlayStation Blackout. I will be playing my physical copies of my physical games on my physical console. And maybe some gacha games. But, whatever. I don't lump in free-to-play games with physical games. Like, If it's a digital free-to-play game, that's okay. I don't mind gotcha games. I don't mind Fortnite. Those games are free to play. And I always say that on my channel for people who are always saying, I can't afford this, I can't afford X, I can't afford Y, I can't afford that game. I always tell people there are some amazing free alternatives out there if you do not have the money to buy games. Okay. And I know that's a shift of topic, but I had to make that point because, again, guys, there are some great free to play games out there. And those are the only times I'm like, hey, digital's pretty good if they're free to play games. But I will be playing my physical discs on my physical consoles. I will not be boycotting my PlayStation because as long as there are still physical games for my physical console, I will be playing them. Again, the boycott is going to do nothing. When you have a boycott going on and people mindlessly just in droves pre-ordering $100 digital edition of a game, they don't care about your protest. Do you know what they care about? Money. That's what they care about. And if they're getting all that money, you can whine and tweet and be as angry as you want because they're going to see that money coming in and they're just going to go, oh, well, don't buy it then because they've already got the money. And they don't need to print a disc. They don't need to do anything because you have all allowed it. You have all enabled it for years. And you let it get to this point and you let it get worse. And now people want to complain about it when it's too late. And that is the reality of this. I have been saying it for years. I've been saying this for as long as digital gaming and DLC and everything else in its whole sphere has been going. I've been saying this since Steam started. I hated Steam because I wanted my games on my PC to be physical copies. Steam does have benefits. I got to give it that. Steam is a very good platform. What they've done with it. But I was against it. As we move on to an all digital gaming future, I will be back on PC and I will be back to PC gaming. I will move away from console. But until that time happens, I will keep buying my physical copies of my physical games and building my collection. And I hope everybody else starts to do the same. I encourage everybody to not sit on your ass on your couch and pre-download your game. I encourage you to get off your ass and buy that disc. Order the disc off Amazon. Order the disc off Walmart or Target or Best Buy or GameStop or whatever other store you want. Get it from your local shop. Anything to support the physical games. Do it while we can. Don't just use this as an excuse to shift all the digital now and go, well, okay. Show them that we want the physical games. If they see an uptick in physical, we might have a chance. But unfortunately, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to give up their convenience and their laziness for the physical games. And that's just that is really my very long-winded hot take on this. And it has gotten a lot of flack online. I've gotten a lot of rude messages online, and I just say, hey, you're part of the problem. You don't have to agree with me. I don't think anyone has to agree with me. But at the end of the day, tell me how I'm wrong. That's more what I'm interested in. If you don't agree with me, tell me how I'm wrong and tell me where my point is wrong. And most people can't or won't. And that is the biggest problem is that a lot of people don't they care enough about the topic until they have to really get into discussing the topic, right? People will mock your point and mock your opinion until it's time to actually have a conversation about the opinion. And then they don't want to talk about it anymore. And that is one of the things I've seen the most with this PlayStation Blackout thing. I've been called a Sony shill. Uh, excuse me. Um, I'm not a Sony shill. I call them out on a lot of stupid things they do. I've been calling them out since they announced this all digital thing. Am I going to get rid of my PlayStation? I see a lot of people. I sold all my PlayStation stuff to buy Xbox stuff. Why? Xbox does almost the same exact thing. They rely on Game Pass. They're, we just haven't seen Xbox announce no discs yet. I'm sure it's coming, but they're seeing all the blowback Sony's getting, so they're probably not going to do it anytime soon. Um, I just think I'm not a shill. I'm a gamer, and I'm going to play my physical games that I bought whenever the hell I want. And that's the beauty about having a physical game. I don't need to be logged into PlayStation Network to play my physical game. I don't need any of that. And that is the reason why I do love physical games. I know there are some that are online required, and that sucks, but that's a whole nother topic to worry about. The big problem right now is at the end of the day, consumers and gamers are on equal footing, if not more to blame than the corporation for the corporation's decision. Because the consumer and the money are what the corporation follows. The corporation is going to follow the money. And if the digital sales are up here and the physical sales are down here, the company is going to look at how much dollars they make off of those digital games, opposed to games that are physical and sitting on shelves. And you can hate me for that opinion. You can send me all the hate messages all you want for that opinion. But prove me wrong and tell me how gamers are not responsible for this. We are part, the consumer in general is a part of our own physical media downfall. And again, the big push was during the pandemic for all this. It's when all the streaming services came out. And again, luckily all came out around the same time during a pandemic. Um, they've trained everyone for this. Most kids my daughter's age don't even know physical games, physical movies. They come to our house and they're like, "What are all those? Those are all our movies. Go watch whatever you want." What? We'll just go on Netflix. I don't have Netflix. And some of her friends are baffled by that. But I send them over to the media walls. Go pick out a movie. I mean, we've got Tubi, we've got Pluto TV, the free services, but I don't have Netflix. I don't have Hulu. I don't have Disney Plus. Screw that. I like a series, I buy it. It's not available, I buy a bootleg of it. And that is what is going to be the future of an all digital service. It's going to be you suffer with all digital, you take what we give you and you like it, you pirate it, which is going to be another big one, or you bootleg physical copies. Those are going to be the things. And I think with the rise of an all digital gaming future, we're going to see more piracy. We're going to see more things like the GTA leaks. We are going to see more of the games held for ransom. We're going to see more of that. But at the end of the day, I am again not partaking in the PlayStation Blackout. I do not care. I think that we are a cause of the problem. I think we are now too late to the party. A lot of gamers are too late to the party here. They are now protesting something that most of them didn't really even care about. Until Sony made the announcement that, hey, we're axing physical games. Once they said they're taking something away, everyone got up in arms. No one has made a peep prior to this. So I don't think it's going to affect anything. I think PlayStation, Sony, at the end of the day, they're not going to be affected by this. I think they're Profits are going to stay the same. I think the revenue is going to stay the same because they're going to make up for the cost of all the manufacturing of their discs with the extra money they get from their digital sales. I I just don't see them changing their tune, no matter what we do during this ill-timed blackout. It should be during Wolverine. Hit them in the wallet, hit them where it hurts. Protest Wolverine. Do not buy Wolverine. I know I'm sipping from a Wolverine cup right now, but don't buy the game digitally. Do not support it. Black out during the Wolverine launch. Show them during their first party title drop that we're not effing around with you. And that might send a message. If they could get Wolverine down to 1,000 copies sold or five, could you imagine that? Could you imagine the hit to the ego if everyone could coordinate that and just be like, none of us are buying this game digitally at all? To what 10,000 copies sold or 20,000 copies sold would do to their ego? Then it would make a difference. But to do a blackout during the Call of Duty beta launch? Who gives a shit? It's a beta. You know what's going to do? Well, our traffic was up. They didn't make any money off of that. Hit them during a point where it's going to hurt their wallet. And that's why I say to everybody that's in all this, they're all blowing smoke up your ass with this blackout. Do it when it counts. Do it when they drop a game. But they won't, because streamers are going to be streaming the game. They're going to be playing the game. They're going to be hyping it up or trashing the game. And it's going to get people to buy the game. Because the FOMO is there. Convenience is there again. And the gamer laziness is there. Those are the 3 reasons to blame. Besides the 4th being corporate greed. 3 out of the 4 reasons for this digital nonsense future are on the consumer and on the gamer. Only 1 is on the company. Let that sink in for a minute. And again, tell me I'm wrong. But be ready to argue that point, because I could go all day. But that is going to be it for my take on the Sony Blackout and how insignificant it's going to be. But I don't know. That's just, again, me kind of being the old man shouting at the clouds, because young gamers, modern gamers, they're not going to listen. They don't care. They've been brought up on digital only. They're not going to care. They're gonna want their game. They're gonna want their game, whatever. And actually, before I end the topic, that another thing I was talking about at work with this whole digital thing is one of the things that pisses me off about it too is the digital only gaming future it kills one thing that no one really talks about either. It kills the gift giving aspect of physical games. Now, I don't know if people have good memories of getting video games as gifts, but I'm going to pull this game out again just for reference. There's something about opening a birthday gift, a Christmas gift, something in your Easter basket, whatever have you, and opening it up and having a physical thing, right? To me, all digital takes so much of that away. Gift giving. Now what are you going to do? Oh, here's a card for a Fortnite V-Bucks. Here you go, little Jimmy. Here's a code for the new Minecraft game. Here's Susie. Here's the new Barbie game. I think that's the right one. It's on a card. You got to download it. It kills that. I give my kid, she's 13 now. I've been giving her physical games her whole life. She'll rip them open and it's just like, she has to open it. She looks at the game. She looks at the cart. Like, we're taking that away too. And that's a point I don't think people actually, no one's talked about that. But we're destroying the gift giving part of video games. And video games are one of the few things all kids do still. Not a lot of kids play with toys anymore. So giving a physical game to a kid, having them open that instead of just, here's a card with a code for a game in it. I don't know, man. Maybe kids are programmed differently, but I know my daughter, man, she rips open a game and she's like, oh my God. And she has to break it open and get it in. But we're also taking that away. And that's like memories for kids. Whether it's getting one game on a holiday. Some kids get one game. But that's something. Like, they've got that game. Like, that's a thing. They opened that present. And now we're even taking that away. And I don't think anyone actually realizes that. No one thinks about that either. But I don't know, man. Again, it could just be me being old. But I I don't know, man. I feel an all digital future is an ugly future. It removes so much out of the gaming, the movie landscape, everything. Because it does take away from one important aspect that people don't talk about, and that is gifts and presents. And that is the one thing I don't see enough people talk about. What about that kid with the presents under the Christmas tree? They're gonna get their brand new system. Look, I got a PS5. And look, oh, what are those? Oh, envelopes for download codes. Okay, let's go download those later. Or, a PlayStation Network card so I can go buy a game. But it's like opening that system and opening those physical games there with your system. Whether you have to pop them in and do an install, oh, sure. Modern games you have to do that. But there's just a different feeling about that. And I don't know, man. I just, I don't know. I don't know how we're taking away so much by getting rid of physical media. I really do feel like that. And it is a damn shame. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to turn it around, I don't think. Unless we get more places to pop up like limited run games. Even though I hate that company with a passion, what they do is game preservation. And I say it a lot of the times. If GameStop was smart, they would be investing money in that. Sony doesn't want to do physical games anymore. GameStop's going to license those games, and we're going to print them in our stores. So if you want to buy a physical copy of the next God of War game, whatever, God of War Kratos, the sequel, or the next Horizon game, or Infamous, whenever that comes back, or another Killzone, whatever Sony's next games are going to be, GameStop's going to have you covered. We're going to sell you a physical copy. I think that would be a smart thing, especially with that being something that will hurt their business, not having physical games anymore. If they become the distributor of the physical games, could make them some money. But I don't know, man. That's just me. Again, old man, shout at the clouds. My hot takes that have pissed off quite a lot of people. I have only 8 DMs right now. Only 8 rude DMs telling me how. Let's see. I am shut off from reality. I'm disconnected. I'm an idiot. I'm fucking ignorant. There's my one F bomb for the stream. Yeah, lots of rude messages. Just for me saying that I think it's the fault of the consumer. 3-1. Three things consumers have contributed to all digital. One thing that corporations have. I think the consumers beat the corporation. We've allowed it. We've encouraged it. We've partaken in it. And now the companies are seeing where the money leads. And that's what they're doing. So I don't know. That's going to be all for the Sony stuff, man, because it's just getting me hot, and I'm just going to get pissed off. I want to stop it before I get too irritated talking about it. So on to some other stuff. We're going to go on to, I think, really, we only have like one other topic I want to talk about. So there really isn't much. But one of the other things is I want to talk about real quick is speaking of physical games. I did actually recently get, I ordered a Blu-ray drive for my laptop. And they sent me a DVD drive by accident. So I got to wait for the new one to come. But once I get that, I do want to go back and revisit some of my older games. So I went through some of my PS2 games, right? And some of the gems that I actually want to go through on stream I got a few here. There's a few options. And I just want to show like examples. And again, going back to physical media, I can pick up these games. I can play them whenever I want, right? So the one I've been showing as an example of this whole game is the Samurai Champloo sidetracked game for PS2, right? I think this would be a fun one to stream going back to it. All right. Another one is a trio of games that I sing the praises of so often. And I say that these need to come back. It's the Shadow Hearts trilogy, right? Shadow Hearts 1. Yes, I have a promotional copy of it. Not for resale. Shadow Hearts 2, aka Shadow Hearts Covenant. And Shadow Hearts 3 from the New World. So as you can see, the first two games were published by Midway, and the third game was published by Xseed. So different characters in the third game. First two games have similar characters, returning characters. So I want to definitely dip back into these on stream. And I'm going to be playing them on a PC emulator. That emulates the PlayStation 2 and upscales everything. So another one I really want to go back to. If you know, you know. Frustratingly hard. Maximo. I love this game. It's basically Ghouls and Ghosts in 3D. So this is Ghost of Glory. Very awesome, awesome game. And a couple other ones I want to dip back into. Don't mind all these god awful stickers. Just if you think GameStop was bad, God, just look at how bad EB Games used to be. Yeah, The Bouncer. Look at how many stickers are on this damn game case. I would love to go back and revisit this game as well. Square Enix beat 'em up, did not sell well, and became a cult classic. And then two other ones that I want to revisit on the PS2. Going back to another Capcom game. You remember Devil May Cry? Everyone remembers Devil May Cry. But does anybody remember Chaos Legion? This game was freaking awesome. It had the kind of gothic kind of vibes to it, and it almost blended Devil May Cry and Drakengard. I absolutely loved it, and you like summoned creatures to fight with you, your legions. Very, very awesome game. And I kind of want to revisit this game as well with the PS2 emulator on the PC. And another one, going to another Konami game, which has a PS3 sequel as well. So the Castlevania Lament of Innocence. This was where they took Castlevania into 3D action game. And these games were freaking awesome. So I went through my stacks, my wall, and I grabbed a couple games that I want to revisit on the PS2 side of things. Going back to more retro stuff, after we beat Final Fantasy IV on stream, which will probably be tomorrow. I know I've been delaying that and playing gotcha games, but yeah, I have a bunch of PS3 games that I want to go back to too, but I cannot do that until I get a Blu-ray drive for my PC, which again, they sent me a CD drive by accident, so if they tell me to keep it and then send me the Blu-ray drive too, I'll keep both. But I pulled out some PS2 games just in case I get to keep the CD drive. Then we'll do PS2 games upscaled, and then we'll switch out some PS3 games. So pretty fun stuff. But that's going to be it for today's stream. I don't think I have much else to discuss. And if I'm going to try to do any Gamescom coverage, which I don't know if I'm going to have time to today, I'm going to have to dip out, eat something, and then dip back on. So we'll see. I may be back for Gamescom coverage. I don't know if I will or not, but we will see if I get anything going. I know the live stream is not currently active yet, so I may have some time, but we will see. What do we have for the rest of the week? Since there was no game stream yesterday, I will be doing a Wednesday game stream this week, Thursday, and a Friday game stream. So I'll be back to Final Fantasy IV, trying to finish that finally. And then I don't know what we're going to dive into next. I haven't really figured out what to play next. I might just grab a game at random and go. Again, I'm going to start doing at least one retro stream every week. I'm going to pick a game and we're going to try to go with it. Maybe I'll just pick a different game every week to just show off once I get the disk drive situated on my PC. New video dropping tomorrow. It is the third and final part of our massive anime figure haul from Big Bad Toy Store, which has been 3 gigantic boxes. Both part 1 and 2 are live on the channel if you want to see the crazy haul I got and try to tell me that I'm just using $1,000 as a nice round number to clickbait people, but I will show you the actual cost when I reveal the third video. So, that's going to be going live on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we have a new episode of the return, I should say, of Prize Figure Face Off. We're going to have some By Cute Face Off. I'm not going to tell you which series, if it's going to be By Cute Bunnies or By Cute Dark. I'm not going to tell you which genre it's going to be from, but you probably don't want to miss it. It's going to be some waifu goodness. So that is going to be it for today's stream. Shout out to everyone who came in and chatted. Shout out to everyone who came in and lurked. And dude, shout out to you guys that come out during the VODs because these streams have been popping off during the VODs. And I really appreciate you guys coming and listening to me kind of ramble on and show off some figures and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments if you guys are partaking in the PlayStation Blackout, if you think it's BS like me, what you guys think of my take. Fight with me in the comments. I will engage with you all. I've been fighting with people all night on Twitter. Again, I just got a bunch of rude DMs just now. I'm ready. I'm ready to fight everybody over it. I will argue my position with everybody. Just prove me wrong. Consumers 3, corporations 1. Who's more at fault for what we're in right now? I think it's the consumers. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Gonna try to come back for some Gamescom reactions in about 40 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to though. We'll see. If I am back, I will see you guys in a little while. If not, I will see everyone tomorrow. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, everyone.